it blew me away. You said, my goal this year is to help you guys hit all your goals. And I think that year I had probably one of the best years of my life. And just knowing that, like, I've got someone in my corner and they're rooting for me and they're going to tell me it like it is. And their objective is to help me.
I do want to ask you a question as it relates to developing sales leaders. You and I have worked with an account over the past year or two, and you've shared they've had some tremendous success, 30% growth consistently year over year. And I think you work very closely with their sales leader and some of the other leadership team. I was curious, and we should get them on one of these and spend a little time with them and maybe share some of the details of what happened there. But I was curious from your perspective of what you saw helping the sales leader in particular develop their overall sales leadership skills, their comfort level in that role, and help the team to perform at a higher level. And it had, some of the natural challenges that many organizations do. I was just curious, any highlights from that group?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. Well, we'll get their permission before we name them live on camera.
I can think of 3 or 4 of them. So yeah, I am. And then one, we even grew. They went from 16 to 32 million this year. So a huge success. So there's a lot of that. And yeah, there's a couple things that I think, and I always come back to keep it to the 4 fundamentals. It's alignment and goals, which are together. That's one. Structure, and that's structure for the company and structure for them. And then internal communication. And when you get those pieces right, people just feel really grounded and they feel like they're part of the tribe, they're part of the team, right? And there's been a lot of data that shows that that's really important to a human being. And then what's our external communication? So I have this methodology, I call it the boa constrictor method, right? So there's usually people are attacking and you're going to do this, or they're so loosey-goosey that everybody does whatever they want. But I just gently set goals, help them get their goals, and I put a structure in place and ask them to follow that. And I just slowly tighten that up, and it brings accountability. In the system brings the accountability, not the person. Because it's really easy to personalize accountability, but if you can make it the system and you can tie it to their goals, they have to face like, hey, I want these goals for me and the system will help me, but I'm not doing it, is a whole different mindset than this guy's putting a ton of pressure on me to do this, and then now he becomes adversarial. Like, I think that's a very important distinction early on, right? And then, I'm such a believer that we serve and we help people, right? So, hey, you leave your family, you come to work here for us. What do you want to get done? What can I help you get done? Like, what is it that's your hot button? And when you align that way with people and you serve them and you get aligned, and those are aligned with the company goals, look at, if you help everybody. If you had, I know you said this at one of our leadership meetings about 5 years ago, and it blew me away. You said, my goal this year is to help you guys hit all your goals. And I think that year I had probably one of the best years of my life. And just knowing that, like, I've got someone in my corner and they're rooting for me and they're going to tell me it like it is. And their objective is to help me. And, there's no dark hidden agenda or black helicopter kind of stuff going on, or any what do they call those conspiracy theories, which people go to that, right? Like, if you could just get connected that way and you serve people and say, hey, look, if I had 12 people and I help them all accomplish what they want, I'm going to get what I want. Yeah. It's a law. I think they call that law of compensation and law of increasing return, right? Yeah. So help people, serve them, help them hit their goals. So those are significant. And then teaching them in their language. I noticed a lot of people really go to parental language, words like you, should, always, never, why did you do this? And it triggers emotions and shuts down communication. And there's an art. Most of the leaders I work with have a really hard time with that. And I'm correcting them strongly in that, right? Yeah, sure. And so there's a whole group of words you should never really be using. And I just used one of them, and should. You shouldn't should all over people is what a friend of mine says.
You're demonstrating for us, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are significant, I think. Because then people feel listened to, they feel heard, they feel cared for, they feel like they have a clear career path, and that becomes home for them.
Yeah.
So
really well put. Well, I know we're getting close to the end here. Hopefully for whoever was able to attend today, you picked up a few things that were useful to you. If you have issues that are on your mind that are not getting answered on some of these, please, communicate that to us at the link below. There's a fair amount of resources and tools available for you for the asking. So, feel free to click on the link to pursue some of those. Anthony, any other closing comments from you, sir?
Yeah, I love something that Gary Vaynerchuk says, and he's colorful in his language, but he really is real. And he says, the new credibility in business and sales communication is transparency, vulnerability, and genuine. And that's the spot, that's a great spot to be communicating from.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're that way, I've heard you say this too, Chris, people will be that way with you. And that's one of the ways you're able to have those, make it easier to talk with people and go through it. And that can happen everywhere in your life and really enrich your life. So that's what we want for people. We want them to have a enriched and powerful life.
Yeah. This goes deeper than just somebody's career. It really should, and in fact, I don't know that it's even possible to extricate your career from your day-to-day life. I think it's all so blended together. And it's not to say that there aren't plenty of challenges in life, but sometimes the fun in life is tackling the challenges, one at a time, and the sense of accomplishment from addressing the things that are thrown at us and the growth that comes from it.